Hi, this is IK. Welcome to PostList re-rendered. Okay, here is our state, post status and error. After initial rendering, post is empty array, status is idle, and error is null. Post is empty array, we have nothing to see. Let's go to see here. F12 console, and here is first array. First array is array 0. Idle status idle and null, and now save post. I add some post to see loading. There is nothing. We need time to post. Okay, but now refresh. Also, we waiting. No post, but loading, and after that we see post. It is here. Nothing array, nothing to see. Idle, status, and null error. But array is what we see on the post list. Array of post, we need that. And in initial value, we have no array, and we don't see refresh. We don't see post. Loading, and after that loading, we see fulfilled. And that loading coming in second rendering. It is first re-rendered. Who start re-rendered? Start hook use effect. Every components, there is a component's life. What is component's life? From start rendering to finished rendering, and that component life, every component life have some event. For us, momentarily is important event what happened when component finish initial rendered. It is component mounted. After initial rendering, component is finished, but there is no post. But it is finished process, and we can see what? Nothing. And that event mounted, component is mounted. That event call use effect function. Use effect, every what begin with use is hook, and use effect is function. Hook what have for parameter, there is two parameter. One is arrow function, and second is array. In arrow function we have status equal idle, and dispatch fetch post. It is end door, and left side must be 1, and the right side must be 1. 1 and 1 equal entire result is 1. It would be happened if it is 1. And momentarily our status is idle. Okay, left side is right, is true, and right side is always true. It is calling function fetch post. Fetch post is Thunk function. Dispatch is here. We have use dispatch here, and it exists always. It is 1. It is always 1, but all depend about left side, because status changes. Okay, it means that this moment, first use effect after initial rendering, start dispatch fetch post, dispatch fetch post. Array here, there is two members, status and dispatch. It means that every time when status changes would be called use effect, and every time when dispatch happen would be called use effect. And it means, for example, if status changes from idle to loading, we have call use effect. And again, if status changes from loading to succeed, again we will call use effect. And but what is here? We will call use effect, but status equal loading, not idle, and the left side is false, 0, and there is nothing about dispatch. Also, when status is succeed, left side must be idle, and there is no dispatch fetch post. And okay, let's go to see happen use effect. Use effect is after component finished mounted, activate use effect. This is true. This is always true. We have dispatch fetch post. Fetch post is Thunk. When dispatched in that moment, fetch post dispatch pending type action, and starting waiting promise, waiting what would happen in the end of asynchronous request, pending. After and in that moment when dispatch pending, status equal loading, and because status is loading after first dispatch of Thunk dispatch action type pending, status changes in loading, cannot go through this, cannot activate a new dispatch without this. We will have again use effect, and always it would be closed loop. Dispatch fetch post cannot go to end. Okay, you can experiment, and because status is loading, cannot be again calling dispatch, but we have process of dispatch of Thunk function working like dispatch action type pending. It is loading, status is loading, and to whom dispatch? Dispatch to Redux, to reducer. Action coming, action object is input of reducer. What is output? Output is momentary, is state or initial state, and action what coming, object action, only change status, and also input is a state, and we can say it is copy of state, empty array, status idle, and error null, and action what coming, pending type, action object, there is a string, it is a type of action, and that type means what to do with action. And the second properties of action is payload. Payload is always what coming from array, what coming from a mock server, from post. Nothing in pending phase, nothing coming from server. It is pending, it is waiting for promise. Promise is final result, error or fulfillment, or would be post. Okay, let's go to see it in post slice. Fetch post, here it is, fetch post. And response data. Fetch post is Thunk. It function, it is action creator function what create action. And every action there is a string action type, and this asynchron function what is get request, and result of that get request go to response data concretely. And response data, it is a return to whom? It is a return to extra reducer. Okay, let's go to see what return for pending. And that Thunk fetch post will send to dispatch type dispatch action type pending, and the dispatch action type fulfilled or rejected. Let's go now, we are in phase of pending. Type pending action. Let's go to extra reducer. There is a builder object, there is a method that case. Pending, here is. When pending, who coding pending? It coding Thunk. Thunk, there is in the background, we don't see, create that pending, and we must write that pending here, because Thunk understand what pending fulfilled and rejected. Pending is immediately after dispatch, first dispatch from post list. Start waiting, pending. And waiting, what we waiting? Dispatch of fulfilled or rejected. And here it is pending. That dispatch action, there is only state. Action nothing have nothing. There is no payload. Payload, that's something coming from mock server, array of post array. Nothing, have nothing. And our reducer, there is only state input, action nothing. And that state, what is input state? It is copy of initial state. It is like initial state, and status is loading. It is changed. And status loading would be changed, and by immutable way, Iber library in background, what exists in post slice, will create copy of state, that empty state, and to that copy push a new copy state. It is empty array, push empty array, status loading, and null, error null. loading is changed, immediately new state have loading. It is not idle, have loading. And in PostsList, here variable content, if status loading, we will see content will be loading 3 dot. Let's go to see. If status loading, we will see loading and 3 dot again. Refresh, loading. Okay. And if status succeeded, when it would be, we will see map post dot map method map will show list. Map will create a list of post, and we will see list of post. It is here. Again, pending change during pending. First dispatch of Thunk function, pending, type pending, will be changed only status loading, and use selector return PostsList selector immediately return that status, return all new state, but changes only what must change. It is process of how change by minimal use of resources. And okay, now post is empty, status is would be loading. Here it is. User immediate loading, and that if status loading, all subscribed component, and PostsList is subscribed component to Redux, concretely store, all will see every changes. And if status loading, we have that sign of loading. Thunk first dispatch is this situation. It is pending. After some time, we have fulfilled. Fulfilled is a different situation. Now, in fulfilled means we have complete array from a mock server coming, and because of that reducer, there is a 2 input, state and action. State would be copy of existing state. Existing actual state is array, post is empty array. Status is loading, error is null. Here we have, it is actual state. Action now exists. There is a type of action and action object, type of action, string, and payload. Here it is payload. Action, payload. Action object, payload properties. Payload is array, full of post. And here we write what to do with payload. It is type of action means what to do with payload. Object action is, there is a type of action, and payload. Payload is always what coming from server. It is concretely here array of post. What we will do fulfilled type of action will state post, you look at, equal state.post concat means something like push action payload, but it is directly what is not function, not is correct in React, must be immutable way. And we can write like this because new Redux toolkit permit to us, because in background of PostsList there is IMER library what will do job for us, copy post, and to that copy concat payload. Anyway, we will have complete full array in post. Status would be succeeded, and we have PostsList, look at content, PostsList, look at content. We have all status equals succeeded, and content will be a post, a map, etc. Complete visible all post. This is a component of one post, and would be list of post, visible list of post. It is fulfilled. It is a promise, coming promise with fulfilled. And the thunk function return that array to extra reducer, PostsList again, response.data, return that array what coming from mock server to here fulfilled, to add case method of object builder, and all happens immutable way. A reducer have a role for immutable way. That reducer coming from PostsList. In that PostsList, that reducer have possibility, instead of us create copy of state and execute type of action, what must do with payload. Anyway, we see complete array, complete all posts we see, and on the screen, and finished all three rendered. Initial rendered, here it is. Empty array, idle status, error null. Second, empty array, because we're waiting, it is pending type of action, our thunk work, and waiting, pending type of action. Nothing coming from server, empty array again, here it is, and the status loading. That status loading use selector transmit to PostsList. PostsList see status loading and give us loading animation or some text, error null, and when promise arrived, thunk send dispatch action to reducer, and that action is action type fulfilled, what means all is okay, coming complete array from mock server on our request, response is complete array, response.data, and that and status is succeed. If status succeed, we have a map method what to that coming array post.map and that method always create our list of posts, and we see all posts on the screen. Look at left, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. It is my explanation of rendering of a post list, rendering of post list, and the role of Thunk. Thunk is Thunk dispatch to reducer, and component must not, because of that dispatch, be re-rendered. Because of that, we have idle condition, must be idle status, and status is idle when. When status is idle, we can go to see. Here is a status succeeded. If fetch post rejected failed, we will have this message for error, and we will have status failed, and what said in post list. In post list said that if status loading, we have animation or this text loading. If status succeeded, we have all posts visible to it finish. But if but in all other case, like failed, status failed, we have this, show this error, and this error would be message or something what we write here, visible. When again we will have idle post status, status idle, never here in action, in a working process. We have pending loading, fulfilled, succeeded, rejected, failed. There is no idle. Again, if we add new post, we have also pending, status loading, and fulfilled or rejected, fulfilled, succeeded, failed. Also, delete, access handle delete, pending, there is a status loading, fulfilled, status succeed, and rejected, failed. Update post, fulfilled, status succeeded. Before that, pending, loading. And there is no idle, because in process we have no initial, again, re-rendered because of use effect. Here it is. We have only re-rendered because of changes state, global state in a reducer. And for example, when we add post 9 and something right here, in pending, here it is add post, fetch post, and add new post. Pending, we have loading. And when pending, add a new post fulfilled, we have a push action payload. It is only one post. We create one post. It is push to existing post. It is on our server push, only that post push, and it will be new state, and that new state will re-rendered post list, re-rendered post list, must re-rendered post list because use selector initiated. Use selector in form coming with new state for state. Now it is fulfilled of add new post fulfilled, and that add new post that one post go to reducer, dispatch to reducer, and push to existing state in our browser, and immediately now we have a new state. It means array with one post more. It is a new state, and status is succeeded. It means again we have map, method map on that array, and new complete list changes. But there is algorithm in background that process reconciliation, and reconciliation algorithm means have a role that with the minimum resources, minimum needed resources, change existing state. Anything we see that like re-rendered. Let's go to C. And now this is post 9. Here right side you see we have 3 hour 1, 2, 3 until succeed, where we have all. And now I add save post. When I click it, we have 3 rendered post list. And when we push save post here in add new post, we have 2 more rendered post list. Why? Because of use selector. Use selector see changes in state in Redux. What changes? It is 2, 1, 2. First changes because of loading. Because of loading, array was 8, but and status loading and null. It would be dispatched by Thunk pending type of action. Pending type of action. Let's go to see in post slice, add post, add new post, pending. Look at again, there is no from server. There is nothing in pending. We're waiting promise. Object promise will give us okay or not okay, give us payload. And here only state and only changes status. And it is dispatched to Redux. And the state will change from 8 in array, and loading because before that would be succeeded. After fetch post fulfilled, state is succeeded, and now is loading. Now is loading, and state would be changed. And use selector immediately change state in post list, and changing state in post list is activate start re-rendered post post list. And after that, coming fulfilled of add new post, succeeded. It is again loading to succeeded, but also coming payload. What to do with payload? Push to post and action payload. It is one post, what we add new one post. And it is second reason, use selector C changes. Now is nine posts and status succeeded. And use selector give new value in our post to our post state in post list, and status is succeeded. And that changes activate rendered of post list. Again here. It means that we need have 3 and 2 to 5 rendering. 1 in array idle null. 1, 2, 2, 3. I close this 3. It is fulfilled. It is, and after that, again loading, because add the new post. We have 8 posts in array. Loading here, and here succeeded. We have 8, like here, 8. We have 8 loading from succeeded to loading. 8 is equal, but because of loading, that dispatch and use selector see new state. That state is because of loading different, and we have again animation of loading or text of loading. And waiting for promise. Promise coming with one post. What we send, add new post, go back with ID, title, content with ID. And it is here now 9. It is fulfilled, 9 post. It was 8, now 9 post, and succeeded. Succeeded. When I delete, when I update, always like that. Use selector is responsible for rendered post list. Use selector is use selector C changes it in state in Redux and give new value to state in post list, and it is reason for rendering post list. It would be same for update and delete. And when we have again idle, status idle, when we start from beginning, for example, for refresh, here is a refresh. Refresh means beginning application, because and now after beginning I can add something and have what I have now. 3 now save post. Look at 1, 2, 3, and now save post. After save post 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and finished. Okay, it's all for this video. It was rendered. Again, CRUD is functionality. We can say the most important knowledge. It is a base knowledge. CRUD, create, read, update, delete, and rendering, process of rendering, and component, every component must have initial rendering. And reason for a rendered component after initial render is knowledge very, very important, because elimination of rendered what we don't need is some of principal job, because rendered is resource use resources, and if we need rendered what we don't need, it is very go to bad performance of our application. Okay, thank you for watching this video.